Om Sri Sai Ram. Hari Hari Bhaj Mana Sai Ram Bhajo Re. Hari Hari Bhaj Mana Sai Ram Bhajo Re. Sai Ram Bhajo Mana Sai Krishna Bhajo Re. Sai Ram Bhajo Mana Sai Krishna Bhajo Re. Hari Hari Bhajo Mana Sai Ram Bhajo Re. मुकुंद माधव विठल भजो रे. मुकुंद माधव विठल भजो रे. गोविंद गोविंद माधव भजो रे. गोविंद गोविंद माधव भजो रे. हरि हरि भज मन साई राम भजो रे. ओम श्री साई राम. When God decides to come down, avataranam, even his script is decided before he even comes down in human form. He puts upon himself the limitations of every performer. Just because he is the director or producer, he will not come on camera playing somebody else's role. Common sense again. We have seen many times the director of the movie himself becomes the hero or supporting actor or any character or a villain in the movie. But just because he is the director, just because he has power of writing the script, he will not just come and play somebody else's role. No ways. He'll be spoiling his own movie, isn't it? Everybody has to perform his or her role play. Swadharma. This is called Swadharma in Bhagavad Gita. Swadharma is not connected with religious things at all. This is all wrong ideas. Swami says Swadharma means your own performance. You should know what are you supposed to perform as. Again, I repeat, many people ask this question, Harish Bhaiya, how to know what role we have to perform? Of course, we do not know it in details. We have to learn his uncertainty. He has declared, whatever I do or omit to do is for your own good and for good of all. I do not commit mistakes. Nothing can ever happen without my intent will. Trust in my wisdom, my timings. And above all, learn to love my uncertainty, my unpredictability. Because if we already know the storyline, if we know the next scene, who will enjoy the movie? So he is giving thrill. At least in human movie makings, we all know, at least we know from the film industry, that movie is not shot from beginning to end in a sequence. Any scene, any time, and when the movie is over, it is more than 6 to 8 hours or 10 hours, even 15 hours with some directors. Then to go editing and putting cut paste here and there and make it as small or big or in whatever sequence they want. Sometimes the end scene will come first and then there will be flashback. We all know this. But in his scheme of things, There are no retakes. There is not even one extra scene. No question of any editing. God doesn't need editing. He is incarnation of perfection. His movie, his play with every character, every performer is unique. And he decides every moment, every movement spontaneously. It is scripted, decided, directed, being directed by him with that creativity. He can even change the scene, change the destinies. Who can stop him? Who can question him? He told Dr. Bhagwat in my case, don't worry about Harish. I have changed his destiny. He can. He has. But he knows how to do it. He doesn't have to edit or go back and redo anything, nothing. That is the beauty of this director. There are no retakes, yet there is perfection. Even if we don't perform to his expectations, he has infinite patience. As Tagore has mentioned, oh God, what infinite patience you have. You take centuries for a rock to get evolved into a flower. God doesn't lose patience. It is his game. He is beyond time and space. He plays with us within the boundaries of this time and space. He is beyond. But when he decides to perform as an avatar amongst us, he puts restrictions even upon himself. What restrictions are expected from any performer? And those who are blessed to live in his proximity and perform in his proximity, they also are given that wisdom, that discrimination. Swami told one beautiful incident. In Ramayana, when Hanumanji was going, he was asked to bring that Sanjeevani. So he was not able to decide which Sanjeevani. So he carried the entire mountain on his hand, palm, and he started going across from those Himalayas to Sri Lanka, from north to south pole. In between, in Ayodhya, Shatrugana was always on vigil, and because in those days also many Rakshasas will, or any what we call UFO, all these elements will be moving across. So Shatrughan saw somebody, strange entity going with the mountain. Unthinkable. He thought it must be some Rakshasa, and he is going in the direction where Rama went for his forest exile. So he thought it is a very serious matter. So he hit the Hanuman with an arrow, not to kill him, but to make him come down. He wanted to interrogate him. And when Hanuman fell down with the mountain, Shatrugana surrounded him. He said, you give your identity. You have to prove that you are not on any mischief. Then Hanuman said, no. Then Shatrugana told him that I am Shatrugana and these Bharata. So Hanuman knew now this Shatrugana and Bharata, brothers of Rama. So he bowed down to them and he narrated the entire thing, that how Ravana has kidnapped Mother Sita and how he went to Lanka to meet Mother Sita and where she is now. And Rama has decided, and Lakshmana and Rama with help of Sugriva and Vibhishana, they all are on the war field. And how that arrow has hit Lakshmana, so he is on the deathbed. That is why he is carrying this Sanjeevani, and he has to reach urgently before it is too late, before sun rises. As soon as Shatrugana heard this situation, he immediately got so angry. He said to Bharata, brother, now let us take our army to go and help Sri Rama. Because that is that would be natural reaction of any faithful brother. That my brother is in trouble, knowing that he is in trouble, knowing that other brother is now hit by an arrow and he is unconscious on the deathbed. And knowing that his mother Sita is in captivity of this Rakshasa, and he is just fighting the war against that huge Rakshasa Ravana, the all powerful Ravana, with help of Vanaras. So he would think of taking the entire army and going along with it, and everybody should go and help Sri Rama, isn't it? That is natural reaction. But Bharata had higher kind of devotion. He said, no. Unless there is direct command from Rama, we will not leave Ayodhya. He has commanded me to take care of Ayodhya. If he wanted me there, he could send message with Hanuman, as he has sent Hanuman to Himalayas. Do you think that Rama did not know that Ayodhya comes before Himalayas? He could send Hanuman to Ayodhya to tell us, and he knew that his one word was enough. Yet he has not sent us the word. So we cannot do and decide and do whatever we want to do. Maybe in the interest of Rama, we may think that we are doing an interest deck. Many foolish devotees would think that after all we are doing in the interest of the nation, in the interest of the society, in the interest of divinity. Who told you? Did you get the command directly from the God? Who has given you authority to protect what you call protecting dharma or nation? Who gave you this authority? Self-proclaimed bhaktas with that little buddhi. Maybe their intentions are good, but they are not enlightened. They are not eligible unless Rama gives direct instructions. So Bharata said, no, let Hanuman go. Don't delay him. He told Hanuman, you go. Don't waste your time here. And our brother is capable of taking care of Ravana, not one but 100 Ravanas. We should have faith in our Rama. He knows what to do, when to do, how to do. He doesn't need anybody's support. He can do it single-handedly. That is what Swami declared. I don't need anybody's support. What I have come to achieve, I will do it single-handedly. Nobody should have that misgivings that we are going to take Swami's legacy or his mission forward and do this on stupidity. Nobody can do it. What he has decided, he will do it single-handedly, even if he has to come 100 times. Be sure. He will not allow any lesser authority to do it. No lesser authority can ever do it. They will spoil the game. This is what Bharata told Shatrugna. If we go there, Rama would be angry, in fact, because we will be spoiling his game. Then Ravana will declare, see, look at this Rama, he is so weak, he has to take support of his younger brothers to fight me. I am so powerful. No ways. What Rama has decided, he will do, and he will do it single-handedly. Now I understood that after listening to this, reading this story. I heard it so many times, but after reading it again and again, oh my God, how anybody can even dare to claim that we are going to take forward his legacy or his mission just because he appears to have gone? No ways, he cannot. He has to come back. He is there. He is already there. Believe me, I have seen him. As he has gone on exile for 14 years. He knew what is happening in Ayodhya, isn't it? And he came back to Ayodhya to take what he has left with. Till then, he knows how to play the game. We can't. We are not eligible. We are not authorized. We have not that buddhi to even comprehend that. Forget doing it. Let us cultivate choicelessness. Whatever he decides, if he has to bring governance of God through anybody, through this child A, B, C, whatever, whomsoever he decides, he will command. And when he commands, nobody can stop him. That is why, let me repeat, in his dialogue also, whatever he has been giving me every morning, I have written down, of course, everything. Not only that, I gave that file to Swami on 3rd of March 2011. That was the last interview Swami gave to families of his students and the students' parents in Purnachandra. My wife was there with the ladies' side on the last row. I was sitting in the first row with my son Harshvardhan. I gave this entire, what Swami has given the name, Best of Bharat for the Rest of Bharat, Krishna Gita. The entire dialogue, right from 2003, how to bring about governance of God in this country, Bharat. The entire project report, I gave it to Harshvardhan because I wanted to take his Pad Namaskar. Nobody was allowed to touch his feet. But I prayed in my mind, Swami, I want to have your Pad Namaskar. He came, first went to my wife to bless her. We can see the photograph at the back. Swami blessed the wedding sari of my daughter, his daughter, the divine daughter, Sumana. He selected the boy. He gave the date of marriage. He blessed everything. Then he comes to Harshvardhan. Though Swami in those days was not even physically, at least he was showing he was not able to carry even one letter. He would just touch and the boy behind will take the letter. Swami will not be able to lift the handkerchief. He would act like that. But Swami put the project report, the yellow file, it is there in the videos and in photographs, on his lap. And he stood in front of me in his wheelchair and indicated I could touch his both lotus feet with my two hands. The photograph is there. So he has blessed it. We are just waiting for his nod. That God is never in hurry, but he is always on time. Jai Bolo Bhagwan Shri Satya Sai Baba Ji ki Jai.